afternoon. I call this meeting of the Board of Parks and Recreation to order. I am Michelle Cummings-Steele, Chair of the Board. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll now read the appeal of decisions. Pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, please take notice that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under a common law writ or certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. We will now move to consideration of the minutes. Have you all had an opportunity to read the minutes from our April meeting? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Any discussion?
Second.
Thank you for the second. It has been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. We'll move now to Metro Council referrals. Are there any referrals from council members?
There are none today.
Thank you so much. We now move to our public comment period. We didn't have anyone to sign up, so we'll continue with our agenda. Moving to the consent agenda, we have a late item that needs to be added. Director Odom?
Late item from Roasted Restaurant and Donors. It's a request for amplification and alcohol at Morgan Park for May 18th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So again, that's an amplification and alcohol request.
Are there any questions from the board?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you so much.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. We'll move now to new business 05-24-02, board to affirm appointment of Mr. Shane Foster as a member of the Parks Board. Mr. Foster's term will expire April 2029. Congratulations and welcome. Thank you. 05-24-03, staff requests acceptance of a $2,000 general donation from the Friends of Shelby Park and Bottoms to the Metro Parks and Recreation Division. This is in Council District 6. Director Odom, is there a recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
All righty, I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve?
Is there a second? All righty, is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. 05-24-04, staff requests approval for submission and ultimate acceptance of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthy Places Grant for the development of a miracle field and playground at Cedar Hill Park. The grant, valued at approximately $5 million, will fund improvements, including the development of a Miracle League field, an inclusive playground, accessible restrooms, seating, gathering areas, and concessions. The grant will be in kind to Metro Parks. No matching funds will be required from Metro. No money will be bestowed to Metro Parks. Blue Cross Healthy Places Build and Design Partners will construct and manage the project. The grant also includes a maintenance fund that will help offset Metro Parks resources. This is in Council District 3. Director Odom, is there a recommendation?
Staff recommends approval, and then we have a bit of a presentation a little bit from Joe Stovall regarding this project.
Yes, a fantastic opportunity here. We've put together some renditions of what it could look like. I also have the boards out here if it's easier for everybody to look at on the way out, of what the design could look like if we're able to get this grant. It's a wonderful opportunity to bring Miracle League Field and partner with Blue Cross to bring something like this to the city of Nashville. In their meeting months ago with us, they expressed interest in coming to Nashville and being in Nashville, so we're very excited about it.
I think one of the key things for me to be aware of, it's not showing up in these renderings, signage, and if you could speak to the signage, because in my research, all of the Healthy Places sites have pretty extensive branding for Blue Cross?
So we discussed that when they came.
Okay.
We have still had multiple discussions with them. I think we could further this discussion if they see a further commitment from Parks with us applying. I think that there is room for, a lack of better words, negotiation on that.
I think that it's going to be hard for me to want to recommend approval without more assurance about the signage. We've got an open agenda item from our ad hoc sponsorship committee for new members, which has yet to meet, but I think we're in the process of adopting policies related to signage. So I think it would be hard for me to accept approval of a grant, because as it's written, it's accepting the grant being approved without more assurance that the signage would match our policies.
So the two examples that we have seen is signage on a building, just in a form of a plaque or a sign, like the size of that picture there, and then also the archway over at the YMCA. Those are the two examples that we've seen in the local area.
Again, I think that I'm going to have a hard time being comfortable approving this agenda item as it's written, because I think that that conflicts with our policy related to signage. This is a for-profit company. It would have their logo, and I think Parks is a place that is meant for all people. And to me, it's an incredibly generous grant and an opportunity. But I think as a steward of the parks system, it would be hard for me to approve this as written. We could entertain them coming back with more clarity on their signage, but an arch that's 15 to 20 feet, I'm just making estimates based on kind of what I could see from their existing sites. And I mean, some of the sites had, on the floor of the playground, and this is not like small recognition plaques. These are, significant branding. So I think that I'm going to have a hard time approving this.
I think there is, as Joe mentioned, there is my understanding, there is some flexibility in donor recognition. And I hear what you're saying. This is absolutely an issue that I had raised before we talked about pursuing this grant. And our team, the Parks Foundation, Mr. Johnson and Director, Chair Steele, met with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And again, my understanding that there is some flexibility with the branding and recognition. I totally get what you're saying, because this is an open issue, as you mentioned, with the ad hoc committee that you chair, and we have yet to resume those meetings, but waiting to schedule those. This falls right in that area to talk about branding and signage within parks and the appropriateness and to revisit the existing policy that again mirrors the city ordinance. So I totally get that.
So I had an opportunity to go on the visit with the Miracle Field, with Parks and with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I was also a part of the Northwest YMCA grant process. As you have researched, their logo and information is on the structure, but this does represent an opportunity for public-private partnership in a way that Metro Parks, in my mind, has not been privy to. The signage conversations that we've had in the past don't give our users of the park first access, whereas this does is one thing to consider. Is not that Blue Cross Blue Shield will continuously come back and utilize that park, that field. It would be for users of our park system. And so for me, it's a little bit different. I do look forward to the conversation that we might have, because again, this is an opportunity for public-private partnership and to fill a gap for funding that we don't have as it relates to our operating nor capital funding. And so something that this administration and previous administrations have been looking for as it relates to how we get things funded in our parks. And I recognize, our policy, we do need to get a meeting set to look at this. That application and grant process is due August. And so we have a little time, and so hopefully in that time, we can have a discussion and put everything on the table as it relates to this, because I think it does, to the conversations we've had in the past, look a little bit different.
And I'd just like to add, not that you necessarily need a unanimous support and vote for this particular agenda item, but if it helps at all, again, the grant period opens August 1st, and we're trying to be well ahead of that, knowing the bureaucracy piece that we have to comply with. If it would be more appealing for us to split this, staff requests approval for submission of the grant and leave out ultimate acceptance, and put ultimate acceptance, and put acceptance on a subsequential discussion or agenda after we know that we have indeed been awarded funding, if you would prefer to do it that way. In the meantime, I would recommend this go to the ad hoc committee for discussion as well.
I think that's a good compromise. I would make amendment to the existing agenda item that it split
Okay.
the submission from the acceptance, and that we're just today looking at submission.
Commissioner DeLay, did you have a comment? Okay. So Commissioner Scott Barnes would like to amend the, what is this called? The agenda item, thank you. The request to read staff request approval for submission of the grant for the development of the Miracle Field and Playground at Cedar Hill Park. Is that good? Okay, I'll accept a motion on the amendment. Thank you. Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All righty, seeing none, all in favor? All righty, any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes, and we will look for the next ad hoc committee date. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank you. 05-24-05, Friends of Warner Park requests acceptance of a SWET, Special Work Education and Training Grant for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $44,876.59. The grant will be distributed via quarterly reimbursement to parks. Summer Sweat Crew Worker, Step 1 and Step 4 in the amount of $36,469.12. Winter Sweat Crew Worker, Step 4 in the amount of $8,407.47. Friends of Warner Parks will reimburse grant total amounts exceeded due to hourly wage changes or COLA, etc. The grant does not require a match nor any type of further fulfillment by Metro Parks. This is in Council District 34. Director Odom, is there a recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
All righty. Do we have a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All righty, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion passes. 05-24-06, Friends of Warner Parks requests acceptance of a staffing grant for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $54,152.92. The grant will be distributed via quarterly reimbursements to Metro Parks. FOWP staffing salaries in the amount of $52,252.92. Copier reoc in the amount of $1,900. Friends of Warner Parks will reimburse grant total amounts exceeded due to hourly wage changes or COLA, etc. This grant does not require a match nor any type of further fulfillment by Metro Parks. Council District 34. Director Odom. Any recommendations? Is there a recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
All righty, I'll accept the motion.
So moved.
Thank you so much. Is there any discussion?
I actually just have a clarifying question. Are these salaries staff of the Friends of Warner Park or the Parks Department?
Grant positioned to the department.
So the employee,
So the employee would move through Metro's payroll, yes,
but it's funded by Friends of Warner Parks?
yes.
Got it, thank you.
Thank you. Did I accept a motion?
You did.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All righty, seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? The motion passes. 05-24-07, staff requests approval of memorandum of understanding between Metro Parks and Metro Water Services for restoration project located at Shelby Golf Course. Staff also requests approval for related land use restrictions agreement between Metro Parks and the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation and the District Engineer of the United States Army Corps of Engineers, Council District 6. Director Odom, is there a recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve.
And second? Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. 05-24-08, staff requests approval to amend the current Greenway easement agreement between Metro Parks and the developers of a proposed multifamily use development to be located at Second Avenue North and Van Buren Street on parcel 08205013400, 08205013900, 08205014000, and 08205013300 for realignment for the existing Greenway Trail. The Greenway currently runs east to west from Second Avenue North to First Avenue North, north of Van Buren Street, and connecting to the existing Cumberland River Greenway in Germantown. The proposed easement amendment will include design and construction, lighting, and landscaping, subject to Metro Parks design approval and maintenance in perpetuity. Council District 19, we're deferring this to acquisition. We will now move to our special presentations. Each presentation, you have 7 minutes to report. We will be staying on our timer. Revenue Producing Facilities Division to present annual update to the board. Hello, John Holmes.
Hello. How's everybody today? Great. Are you guys ready? Okay. Yeah, we wore matching shirts so you could tell we were together. Okay, hi, I'm John Holmes, Assistant Director for Revenue Producing Division. I'd like to introduce my team. First off, Superintendent Misty Adfield. She's over all the revenue producing facilities that are not golf. And as we go through the presentation, you'll see what those are. Wayne Evans, Superintendent of Golf Course Clubhouse and Permitting Office. And Brandon Denton, he's over the golf course maintenance, which includes all the staff and the maintenance for all of the golf courses. It also oversees the largest portion of my budget of other, which is a monumental task, staying within budget, maintaining those golf courses. Does a great job. At this point, we would like to show you a little video that is kind of a little glimpse of what our division is all about. And please take note, this was shot in the winter months, so the grass is a little brown. It's a lot greener right now. Okay, revenue producing, yeah, thank you very much. Revenue producing facilities made up of the following facilities: 7 golf courses, including the golf course maintenance, Centennial Sportsplex, fitness, tennis, pickleball, aquatics, and 2 ice rinks, is also home to the disabilities program, Hamilton Creek Sailboat Marina and the BMX track, Parthenon, Two Rivers Mansion, Stones Hall, downtown Riverfront Dockage, our reservations office, which includes picnic shelters and sports fields throughout the county, our permitting office, which does outdoor fitness, model airplane flying, and food truck vending, Wave Country, and then also oversees the point of sale system for all of the park facilities, including all of the divisions throughout the department. Being revenue producing, our division brings in 85% of the total revenue generated by the entire department. Now, when you look at the pie chart, you see that the Sportsplex and the golf courses bring in the biggest chunk of money, but those are made up of multiple facilities. The most impressive single facility is the Parthenon. It brings in 14% of our total revenue all by itself. And if you've ever been to the Parthenon on a busy day, you'll realize how they do that. It is a continual line of bodies. Our facilities offer many specialized services and in many ways can be viewed as non-essential to the community. But the revenue division is more than just bringing in money. Our facilities are places where seniors gather in the morning and socialize, and places where kids come to learn new sports. It's where people learn how to hold themselves accountable and to keep trying even if they fail. Our facilities are gathering places of citizens. They are simply just another form of community centers. So why do our facilities and programs matter? Adolescents ages 12 to 17 that felt connectedness to their community were 66% less likely to experience health risk behaviors related to sexual health, substance use, violence, and to have better mental health in adulthood. For seniors, connectivity and having an active lifestyle increases positive senior health outcomes and generates a sense of independence, which leads to longevity. In turn, this creates savings in healthcare costs. Currently, 49.1% of the U.S. population are categorized as obese. The highest rates of obesity are within minority groups. So how do we make sure everyone has access to our specialized services and some citizens aren't left behind? This brings me to where our division is headed. If you'll change the slide. It's not just about revenue and the numbers. It's about who we are reaching. In the past, our division was focused on growth in attendance, participation, and revenue. While we have grown, our services have been viewed as services for those in higher socioeconomic levels. Moving forward, we will continue to focus on growth, but as a division, we will also plan to focus on making sure our programs and services are accessible to our citizens that typically do not have access to them. As a parks department, we are in a very unique position. We have specialized services like our division, and we have our community centers and senior centers. Moving forward, our division will work to make more consolidated efforts to integrate our programs with the community center users, such as youth, teens, and seniors, to access our division's services such as golf, Wave Country, Sportsplex, and the Parthenon. We will also work to increase access to our facilities for all underserved community members. For example, through the Museums for All program, the Parthenon has seen over 719 EBT admissions since January 2024. This is the food stamps program. With our division focusing on integration, we will not only continue to increase participation and revenue, but we hope to ensure no citizen, no matter the age or socioeconomic status, is left without access to our services as the city continues to grow. As my team gets ready to hand out these handouts, which they're about to do, we felt the overview and video would give you some idea of who we are, our division's mission, and our goals. However, as our division oversees so many facilities and services, we've put together this handout to give you some more in-depth information about each facility. Please feel free to look through at your leisure and reach out if you have any questions. At this point, I need to acknowledge some people, mainly, or initially, the team that I introduced at the beginning, because they were the creative force behind this presentation, but also some other people that are in this room. Nathraja, where? And Drew Peck, who were instrumental in editing a lot of what you see, but also that video that you saw at the beginning. Ace Watson, this young man right here, he's a seasonal employee of ours who is working, then this is, I think is going to be his profession. Because he told me he got another job doing a video similar to this. He's an engineer. Okay, well. Anyway, he does a heck of a job, and he did that video for us, and we really appreciate it. And then also, every manager that was involved, that oversees each facility, the handout that you're looking through, they put the information together and put those pictures together. So this was truly a team effort by everyone in my division to put this presentation together. So if anyone has any questions at this time, I'm going to end it because I don't want to go over my time limit.
Are there any questions from the board? Well, great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You have a future ace.
You did a great job.
Thank you, John. We will now hear from Friends of Warner Park to present their annual update to the board. Jenny Hannon.
Steele. I'm Jenny Hannon, president of Friends of Warner Parks, and I'm thrilled to be here today, as I am always. I want to first recognize Monique and the team at at Metro Parks that we work closely with in partnership and could not do what we do without them, and it's a pleasure to work with them every day. So Friends of Warner Parks, as many of you know, our vision is to sustain a vibrant future for nature and Nashville. And our mission, as it has been for 37 years, is we're dedicated to the stewardship, preservation, and protection of our almost 3,200 acres of Percy and Edwin Warner Park. We have three main pillars under which we do all of our projects and we focus: conservation, education, health, and wellness. This past year, we invested over 82% of our total expenses into the park improvements and programming. We have a total endowment of $2.4 million, which is the first time we've ever had an endowment. And we raised $1.4 million from our fundraising events. And as you heard me say, 82% of those funds are reinvested into the park. Conservation this past year, we restored the Little Harpeth River floodway and built 2 new picnic shelters in Edwin Warner Park. We removed 800 acres of invasive plants. Our goal is to be invasive-free WP by 2027. We planted over 13,000 trees in Warner Parks as well in the last 4 years. Health and wellness, we restored this past 2 years. It took 24 miles of hiking and equestrian trails, 8 new bridges. We restored the new Percy Warner Golf Course and Clubhouse, which is due to open June 29th of this year, which we're excited to get that open, and you're all invited to attend. And we've hosted over 13,000 attendees at our various events throughout the year. The education portion is the one I want to share more with you today, and I'm going to introduce Caroline Cruz, who runs this program for us. But we have expanded out of Warner Parks our Nature Discovery program by over 100% in the last 2 years. This program serves 22 Metro Park community centers annually. We have 1 full-time and 1 part-time staff that manage this Nature Discovery program for us, and I want to thank Vera Roberts at the Warner Parks Nature Center, who really partner with us on this program. So Caroline, if you talk a little more about the program.
Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to move this down. Okay. Hey, I'm Caroline Cruz. I've been lucky enough to run this program for the last 1.5 years. But the Nature Discovery Program is actually the longest running program of Friends of Warner Parks. And since 1988, it's been operating through a partnership between Friends of Warner Parks, the Warner Park Nature Center, and Metro Parks Community Centers. The Nature Discovery Program provides youth and Metro Parks Community Center after-school and summer camp programs with opportunities to experience the outdoors and connect with nature in their own neighborhoods, in the Warner Parks, and beyond. But more specifically, the program provides opportunities for children in our city to take a hike on a primitive trail for the first time, to view birds through binoculars and wonder about their colors and flight patterns, to explore the soil and dig for worms, to catch crawdads in the Little Harpeth River, to plant gardens of flowers and vegetables, and to take a closer look at the world through a magnifying glass. These are some pictures of some of those activities. I'm sure every person in this room can remember a moment from your childhood when you felt deeply connected to or inspired by the natural world. Positive experiences in nature during early childhood are often the most powerful moments of our lives, and research shows that spending consistent time in nature has lasting benefits for the physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being of young people. And I actually recently read in a report from the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research that over the last 30 years, there's been a 50% decline in time that children spend outdoors, which is a big problem. But the Nature Discovery Program is addressing this by consistently and intentionally bringing children outside and connecting them to their local environments. Now, access to environmental education opportunities is not equally accessible to all children, and specifically youth from urban areas and youth from lower socioeconomic backgrounds are underrepresented in environmental education programs. This is a map, and you can kind of see the blue on the map. The areas that are marked in blue they represent parts of Davidson County that are disadvantaged, overburdened, or underserved based on 8 indicators of environmental and economic burden. This is from the U.S. government's Climate and Economic Justice tool. And some of these indicators are climate change impacts, health, housing, access to green space, pollution, things like that. And marked in red and orange are community centers where we do summer camp programming and after-school exploration programming, respectively. And so you can see that a lot of these community centers land in these disadvantaged areas. One of the most significant barriers we run into when trying to connect young people to the natural world is transportation. And in May of 2023, Nissan generously donated this van to the program, and I've been using it over the last year to transport kids for a variety of really fun field trips. And then we got it wrapped with this really great nature scene, and it's outside right now, so I invite all of you to come take a look at it after the meeting. Currently, we offer 4 different programs. So I do after-school nature exploration programming at 10 community centers each month, where we go outside and we do hands-on nature exploration and learning about our local environments. Summer Pen Pals camps are our signature longest-running program. I bet some of you have heard of it before. It's beloved by community centers, and children get to spend a full day exploring the various natural ecosystems of the winter parks, observing wildlife, hiking, kayaking, practicing outdoor skills, doing arts and crafts. It's a really special day. Campfires and night hikes are a relatively newer program, and this is where kids come out to the park and we go on a night hike through the woods and fields of the winter parks. We cook dinner and s'mores over a campfire. We view the night sky. We listen to all the nocturnal sounds. And actually, we just had one of these programs a few weeks ago, and a lot of the children were like, "This is my first time ever going on a hike. This is my first time ever having a s'more." And a little girl, I just wanted to give this little anecdote. She was roasting her hot dog over the campfire, and she looked over at one of my naturalist colleagues and said, "Isn't this great? This is the best day of my life." And then finally, we do professional development workshops for community center leaders. This is a picture of me and 9 of my leaders who came out to the winter parks, and we, it's an opportunity for them to gain expertise in environmental education, things that they can share with the kids, natural history knowledge, different naturalist skills. And a lot of these leaders actually did pen pals when they were kids and had a really impactful experience, and so want to continue to be involved. And that's listed the 22 community centers that we currently partner with. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Ms. Cruz. And
Any
Jenny?
questions? No, we're finished.
Yes,
As
I
you
had a
can see, we
question.
found a unicorn here in our leader.
And I had a question for Ms. Cruz. So how are the children enjoying nature exploration after school with the cicadas?
Oh, yeah. Great question. Oh, my gosh. very, very much enjoying it. Actually, I was at Paradise Ridge Community Center on Friday, and the cicadas were just beginning up on Paradise Ridge. And so I brought some specimens of cicadas and cicada shells. They each got to hold and touch a cicada shell that I had collected from our park. They loved it. Oh my gosh. I mean, they're all
Kids
like
do.
slightly freaked out about it, but also they're amazed by it. And then, and then we looked at the difference between our annual Dog Day cicadas and the periodical cicadas. And then we went outside and we found 2 cicadas. There were just 2 up there at the time, but hopefully it was just beginning last week. So
Hopefully, oh, okay.
Oh, hopefully for me. Hopefully for them, because they loved it. They wanted to find more. So.
Well, based on the statistics you told us, thank you for your work. In that the number of children enjoying outside has decreased. We thank you for your work and the touch that you have in community.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? I'm sorry.
Just wanted to just echo the thanks and the gratitude, because the partnership with Friends of Warner Park is extraordinary. It's gone for a long time, and it's a really great asset for our park systems. I mean, a lot of these things we couldn't do without the funding and the administrative things that you all bring to these programs. Thank you.
We started the program with a part-time person, and now we have Caroline full-time and just hired another part-time person because
Yeah.
community centers are asking Caroline more.
More.
Yeah.
And that's because of her.
Thank you.
All righty, thank you so much. We'll move now to Friends of Hadley Tennis to present an annual update to the board. Fannie Holmes. And Mr. Goldthreet. Okay.
Well, good afternoon. I am Fannie Holmes, and I am the president of Hadley Park, Friends of Hadley Park Tennis. And as most of you all probably know in this room, that I'm the president, but Joe is really the boss. So, but we really thank Director Odom and the Park Board for our continued relationship that we share every year. And so I will move out the way now and give you all the boss.
Thank you, Fannie. It's always a pleasure to be here. It is my 56th year with Parks and Recreation, donating my time. We had a great season last year. We want to have a bigger season this year. I will be meeting with all the Middle Tennessee Park and Recreational boards. Seems like they have caught on to what we are doing here in Nashville. We have started the Bill Riddle Central Basin Tennis League, and that's all of Middle Tennessee, where they'll be coming and playing at Hadley. We'll be going and playing at their sites. The Garner Street Springfield Group, Richmond Country Club, Hillville Country Club, Wilson County Park and Recreation, we are all doing programs this summer at each site. They would come to us 2 times a week, and we would go to each one of these sites 2 times a week and take our kids. One of the things that I'm gonna make it short is to thank our fundraising committee. We don't have one. We have former students, since we've been here about 60 or 70 years, that have graduated from college and make a donation of $100 a week to our program. And they've been doing it for over 20 years. So that made us financially independent, along with the park board. When me, Jimmy Fikes, Mary Worry set up this Friends of Park and Recreation to be able to do things for our community and keep it doing. Well, we have public input and also private input and park and recreation. And it have turned out to be a great operation. I want to thank y'all. All of y'all are new. In fact, I haven't seen none of y'all back to when we started 60 years ago. I want to get down to the bottom part of it is, out of all these programs, we plan different tennis all over the city. That we forgot one thing. We got away from community centers, park and recreation. I want you to play what we are doing to get back to Parks Community Center. We had 6,000 kids here in 1990 in Parks and Recreation. We was the top of USTA dealing with NJTL programs. She's gonna play, and I'm gonna tell you, and we'll be through, that we're going to go back to Hadley Community Center, Watkins Park, McFerrin, Hartman, and Smith Springs Community Center. That's just a start. You gotta understand that MDHA gave us a lot of money to do inner city programs to try to cut crime down into the inner city. And we've done a great job of that. I want you to play that thing. Yes, play it.
Friends of Hadley Park Tennis Program. It all begins with love. Through tennis, lives can be changed and spirits reclaimed. Our mission is to provide children ages 5 through 18 access to the sport of tennis. We provide dedicated, professional, certified tennis instructors to teach competitive tennis skills. Additionally, we provide valuable life skills that set children up for success far beyond the tennis court. The Friends of Hadley Park Tennis Program go on the road to McFerrin Park for a half-day indoor tennis clinic. Patricia Goldthreet is the first vice president of the Friends of Hadley Park Tennis Program. She has been volunteering for over 30 years and loves working with the children. Mrs. Goldthreet shares with the kids that tennis is an amazing sport. Tennis can allow you to go so far. There are opportunities for tennis scholarships to pay for college. You can be a coach or even play professional tennis. She encourages the kids to just keep playing. Now we will hear from Coach Joe Goldthreet, the executive director of the Friends of Hadley Park Tennis Program.
We're over here at McFerrin. Once they learn how to play quick start, we take them outside to the outdoor tennis court, and that's where they'll learn to play tennis. It'll take one summer, and they'll be playing tennis, and the next summer they'll be in tournaments. All right, good job. Girls, are you ready? Boys, are you ready?
Next, we have Carlos Cook of Metro Parks and Recreation. He is so excited to have the Friends of Hadley Park Tennis Program at McFerrin Park. He loves that it allows the kids to have exposure to sports other than basketball and football. He believes that tennis teaches discipline and it's a great sport for kids to learn. And he looks forward to welcoming the program back year after year.
Thank you. I will just ask Park one thing I would like to do is that 30 years ago, I trained park and recreational workers to be teaching pros in the park system. All those players that we trained, all directors now, community centers. So we got a board in there. But we are training young individuals from 11-year-old to be PTR teaching pros. So you'll see them at parks. They'll have PTR junior teaching pros from Dennis Vandermeer's organization in Hilton Head. They would like to be an opportunity for me to train a few of these park directors, individuals, persons on my own time and free to teach them how to be teaching pros at the community centers. And I want to thank you for listening to me, had the opportunity to talk to you. Thank y'all.
turn your mic on.
Mr. Goldthread.
Mr. Goldthread, come back.
Before you go. Were you trying to call me out?
I don't think there was a try.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think you did.
Well, you know, I talk so much, you know, I get in trouble. All these parks, and now they got to schools. I called Stevan last week. They had a big event at Haley Park, all the high schools. And they called me up, and they must thought I run parks. They want to know how come McGavick tennis courts are not in good shape. And I said, well, you know, I'm not over that. I will call somebody and find out. So they said, no, we need you to come out and have a meeting with our principal. Because we heard that the director of school was in your program, and she, I said, yes, she was the secretary in our program at 16. And you have an access to go over there and talk to her about get some money to fix these courts. Well, I looked at Park runs the tennis courts at these schools.
Not all of them, nope.
Am I wrong or right? Somebody need to let me know.
Not all of them. No.
Not, well, the ones I saw in Gabby, they say got a sign said Park and Recreation. Do y'all run that one?
That one.
You don't know.
That one. That one.
Well,
Sounds like
Thursday I will be meeting with them out
Good.
there at the school.
Okay.
And I'll give Steve on and find out who runs the courts and get them off
Okay.
of my back. We can't run
Because that's the
all
goal.
tennis.
Mr. Goldthread, so the tennis programming is year-round?
It's year-round.
Is year-round, and how many students do you have currently?
Wow. Indoor, we have 4 courts.
Okay.
We basically have 500 kids signed up for 4 courts. I ain't saying they show up, they can't get in there.
Okay.
But they come and go back and forth. Summer program is a different story. We got these community centers. They are part of our programs. When we go McFerrin, we work
Gotcha.
with their summer program as part of the Quick Start program.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board? Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're moving now to capital projects update with Joe Stovall.
Thank you very much. Exciting times. First and foremost, Cedar Hill Park, thank you for the opportunity to go after that application. We'll make sure we have that submitted August 1st and make sure after you convene that internal meeting that we will update you on any further discussions on the branding. Bordeaux Gardens, we're putting the final surfacing down this week and next. Hopefully we'll be able to have that open at mid-May, late May at the latest, weather permitting. Fort Negley, we are working on the master plan phase 1. We are at 35% CD, working to 60%. We are at Madison Station. We have approved the 30% design, and we are working to get to 60% there. We have a community event being held at Madison Community Station to update the community on the park, May 28th, from 5 to 7 p.m. I'm sure Jackie will talk about that some more soon. Old Hickory Community Center, we're in the final stages of the contract negotiation with procurement, the contractor. We should be able to go to demo any day. Ravenwood Phase 1, the restroom building will be delivered and installed and operational for public use, hopefully around the first week of August. Sevier Park, Sunnyside Mansion, is coming along very nice. The Historical Commission has set up a grand reopening on June 29th at 10 a.m. I'm sure Jackie will talk about that more too. And the Shelby Naval Building, I am working with the Friends of Shelby Park to work on an interior demo plan to get that started. So, exciting times. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate it. Greenways open space update with Cindy Harrison.
Hello. I'm going to start backwards today in my list. With the Harpeth River Greenway at Ariza, this is a project that we continue to work with developers on to construct both a greenway and access to parkland that we have adjacent to this property. And we're currently talking with them, trying to make sure that we are able to take a greenway underneath the CSX Railroad Bridge. So that is ongoing. We have a project, another project we're working on with developers down at First Avenue North of 900 block. There's a new multifamily project coming in. It's adjacent to, on two sides of this project, to the Cumberland River Greenway. So part of that will, that project will improve those two sections of the greenway, widening it out, adding lighting, adding landscaping and maintenance with that project. You'll probably hear soon there'll be some closures there of that greenway to accommodate that reconstruction. At First Horizon Park, our team visited that site last week. If you know the history there, the greenway for a period of time was closed when ball games were happening at the park. And there is a multifamily development mixed use happening at that project. And that developer is also constructing a new portion of the greenway so that it can remain open 365 days a year as it should. With that, there is landscaping, lighting, maintenance, construction of the greenway all happening with that project. And we had anticipated, hoped, to have a ribbon cutting this month. They've hit a few snags in construction, so we're looking a little bit later in the summer, but we'll keep you posted on that. That's a really important greenway opening for all of our trail users in the city. And finally, with developer partnerships is the Richland Creek Greenway at Bellmead Plaza. The developers there are making huge improvements to the Richland Creek riparian zone and to the creek. They're removing hard surfaces and landscaping, and they're also building a greenway for us there and maintaining that as well. And they've made it through their first venture into the stormwater variance process, and they'll continue to work there and then on through their planning commission approval. Capital funded projects. I want to make sure this is on your radar. Whites Creek Greenway, we're starting a new segment that will connect Hartman Community Center down through flood buyout property down to Buena Vista. Our first public meeting is next Tuesday, May the 14th at 6:30 at the community center. We would love to have you come and stop in and learn more about that project, or certainly reach out to me if you have any questions on that. The 440 Greenway, we have two sections underway and under design. The first is outside our door, as you know, and we're finalizing the lighting and coordinating with the Centennial Park Phase 3 improvements that are happening right now. So this greenway will connect the existing 440 from Ellington Park on into Centennial Park. The 440, other segment of 440 that we're working on is Sevier Park to Browns Creek Park. That design is nearing completion. The permitting is ongoing. We met recently with a contractor to look at options for a boardwalk and something that's more sustainable for us, a concrete system. We met on site and looked at that. Looks like that's a go for us. So that one is continuing on. The Charlotte Railway Trail, working with the railroad there, as you know, it's a long kind of process of working on an easement agreement with the railroad to allow a greenway to be within their space, connecting 28th Avenue over to the farmer's market. And that's all I have today.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Thank you. We'll move now to upcoming special activities and events with Jackie Jones.
Well, I hope you all are ready to rock and roll this summer because Parks has it going on as far as the summer concert series. So I'm going to run through these real quickly. If you, for some reason, don't get the date, you can check our website for that. But we have the Red Caboose Concert Series every Friday of June at Bellevue Park. The big band dances, one of our most popular events, is every Saturday in June, July, and August in Centennial Park. Tales at Twilight is every Friday at the Bandshell in Centennial Park. And of course, we have the Musicians Corner Spring Series every weekend, beginning May 17th through the weekend of June 14th. This is the 15th year for this event, which features musicians from all genres of music, and it is undoubtedly a great event. If you love music, it's a great event to attend. We've got the BMX Nationals on May 22nd, excuse me, at Hamilton Creek Park. And of course, there's Jazz on the Cumberland on May 12th at Cumberland Park, beginning at 4 p.m. We've got 3 community engagement meetings scheduled for this month. I think Cindy mentioned the one about expanding the White Creeks Greenway. That is at Hartman on May, the meeting is scheduled, on May 14th. And that meeting is scheduled at Hartman Community Center. We have one scheduled for Madison Station Park. That's on May 28th at Madison Community Center. And we have one on May 30th at Hartman Community Center. And this is for a park that we're currently calling Trinity Hills Park. So we hope to see you there if you have the time to attend.
Thank you so much. Any questions?
You're welcome.
All righty, thank you.
Good.
We'll move now to the report of the director. Director Odom?
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I will be brief, but did want to follow up and let you all know we have in the past few months, talked about us being in budget season and the budget and what that looks like. And of course, you all, as Parks Board members, advocating for the department. But I did want to follow up to let you know, and you may already know, that Mayor O'Connell has recommended a status quo budget for all departments, so a status quo baseline budget, which means no changes and flat. Our revenue, Metro's revenue projections for next year show no growth. And so to be safe, we are recommended for a status quo budget. In addition to that recommendation of a status quo budget for departments, there's also a 1.4% savings target for Metro departments. For our department, that equates to about $900,000, a little bit less than $900,000, and that is savings. So our budget, FY25 budget, will look the same, though we would be charged with realizing this amount of savings. And the finance department of the mayor's office has not necessarily prescribed how we will do that, and I appreciate that. Some departments have more flexibility than others, so, and we'll reach those targets in ways that others won't. So we appreciate that flexibility. I did want to remind you all that our budget hearing with Metro Council will be May 23rd at 4:00 p.m. in the Metro Council chambers. Beyond that, I wanted to inform you that our waiver for implementation of the Fort Negley Master Plan has been approved by the Tennessee Historical Commission. And I'd like to give special thanks to our legal team, Macy Amos and Tessa Ortiz Marsh, and also Jim Hester, who is on our team here at Metro Parks. John Holmes hit on, we did not compare notes, but he touched on something that I wanted to highlight and really very much appreciate, commend our staff and team at the Parthenon for their Museums for All program. As John mentioned, that is our SNAP and EBT program where we offer free admission to the Parthenon, and we're able to extend our reach and make the Parthenon accessible to more visitors. As we work in this park system, you all know, and I'm, I will say I'm preaching to the choir, but it is important to acknowledge folks in our community who may not be able to afford or have access in whatever way to some of our offerings here in the system. And any way we can remove those barriers, we are trying to do that. And so I'm very grateful to our team at the Parthenon. Also wanted to announce that our summer enrichment program, we've had signups for that. We have right now about 1,900, a little over 1,900 young people registered for that at our community centers. The program runs from July 3rd to June 3rd to July 26th. And we still have a few vacant slots at Antioch, McFerrin, Morgan, and Watkins. It's an all-day program from 9 to 4 to accommodate working parents. So we're excited about that. That's an annual event. I know Steve and his team are geared up and ready to go. And then finally, I just wanted to announce that the long-needed paving of the cart paths at Ted Rhodes Golf Course has started. That I wanted to intentionally make that announcement. That's been kind of in the pipeline for a long, long time, and I myself am excited to see that happen. So, so with that, that's my report. Do you all have any questions of me?
All righty, thank you so much. We will now move to announcements, requests for future agenda items or open items. Seeing none, I'll accept the motions for adjournment.
So moved.
Y'all want to stay? Thank you, Pete, for staying. We are adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.